Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase because I know your attention span is absolutely fried. I'm going to teach you how to create your ideal reality. And I know as soon as you hear this, your mind is probably going to think, oh, but reality is something that we have to try and fit into because reality is something that exists without us. You're wrong. There are over 8 billion realities in this world. And that's because every single individual has their own perspective of reality. Because reality is simply just your experiences and your worldview, which is tainted by your perspective. Now, once you understand this, and you understand that reality is in the eye of the beholder, you also understand that you have been choosing to live in this low reality state. And you'll probably ask yourself, but why would I ever do that? Who wants to live in a reality where they can't have control and they have no understanding of what's going on? Well, we're going to talk about that, so relax, we'll get there. So as someone, I'm not one of these like people that will come on here and just speak out my ass and have no experience of what I'm talking about. I'm speaking about this topic as someone who lived a life where I believed that I had no control. I was one of those people that thought they were a victim. I'll be honest, I played the victim card for a long time. I thought, life just happens to you, you're born and you die, and that's about it. And this is the sort of mentality so many people have nowadays, where they believe that life is just something that happens to you. And if you believe that's true, then you're probably right. And that is going to be the catchphrase for this video. If you believe it to be true, you're probably right. So let's get into it. First, you have to understand that your vision of reality and your vision of your ideal reality is everything. It's everything. So the first thing you have to do is define what your ideal reality even looks like. Because it's very easy to say, oh, my life right now is not the life I want to live. Okay, then what life do you want to live? How do you want to live? What kind of people do you want to have around you? What does your average day look like in this reality? How do you feel? Like, who's around you? Like, what kind of work do you do that brings you joy? These are serious questions you need to ask yourself if you actually want to have this ideal reality become your reality. Because right now, this ideal reality you have might just be a idea that you've conjured up based on comparing your life now to people on the internet, or maybe watching some vlog or sort of some guy in a private jet or some shit. You have to understand, what is my reality? What is my ideal reality? What kind of life do I want to live? Because as it says in Proverbs 29 verse 18, where there is no vision, the people perish. If you have no idea of where you want to go, you're cooked. Let's be honest, it's as simple as that. You're cooked. What are you doing? You're just messing around. And that clearly isn't you if you're watching this type of video. Because setting a clear intention of what you want your ideal life to be really does help to align your frequency with this desired reality. Because let's say right now you're operating at a very low frequency where you're just wandering through life, aimless. You can't expect to ever get anywhere close to this kind of reality that you want to exist in. Simply because you're not even at the same wavelength to even see the type of life you want to live. You're too busy fighting out on the bottom of the crabs and shit, when really you want to be up there with the birds, for lack of a better metaphor. So once you have this vision aligned and you know exactly what you want your ideal reality to be, which is basically another word for awareness, which is where everything starts, you now have to align your beliefs with your vision. It basically means that the things that you believe about life, the things you believe about yourself, have to align with the type of reality that you want. Because you can never expect to have your desired reality and live the type of life you want if your beliefs are still attached to the old version of yourself. If your beliefs are still attached to the way that you were brought up. If your beliefs are still attached to maybe this kind of scared inferiority complex that you've had for a long time. You can't have this complex and believe you're going to get to your destination and get to the type of life you want to live, because they're not compatible, they're not on the same frequency. So you must identify and rewire your limiting beliefs, because we all have limiting beliefs. I had so many limiting beliefs. Again, as I told you, I used to believe that life just happened to you, that you're kind of just spawned here, shit happens and then you die. And that's the belief that so many people have nowadays, that everything is just random, this is all just just whatever happens. And to an extent, if you believe that, then you'll find ways of proving yourself right. So it's very important to rewire and replace the way that you speak and the way that you view the world around you. Because be honest here, like, how many times have you said, oh, like, I can't do that? Oh, I don't think I can ever really do that, really. That's not really my thing. Oh, it'll be nice to have money, but, you know, everyone that has money is a bit of a dickhead, right? You have to fuck people over to be rich, right? I'm not like that. I'm a good guy. If you said anything like that, then it's no wonder why you've never been able to reach the type of reality you want to exist in. Because you are limiting yourself. You believe that your understanding of reality, based on your experiences and the brainwashing that you've been dealt as a child, which we all have, you've taken that as being, that is the facts, that is what life is. You have to replace these sorts of limiting beliefs with success is inevitable for me. The things I want, I already have them. You have to live like you already have the things you want. You have to aspire to be the type of person that you want to be and literally act like them before you have the results. That's the key part. Before you have the results, you have to be that person. So if your goal and your dream reality is just a status symbol, like, oh, being a millionaire, it's going to be very difficult for you to act like a millionaire, before you are a millionaire. So I think for me anyway, it's way more important for the type of aspiration and your dream reality to be something based on your characteristics, not based on your like worldly possessions. Because as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. So that simply means that everything that happens, it just happens. There is no good or bad without our perception painting it. If, you know, a good person jumps off a building, gravity's not going to say, oh, you know what, they're good, like, that's a good person, like, let me not crush them, compared to a bad person that's doing the same thing. Like, if you know what I mean. Let me redo that, because I think I didn't say that properly at all. So for example, gravity is no respecter of persons. Gravity does not care if you are the best person ever and you've devoted your whole life to saving dying children or whatever. Gravity is being like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. I'm gravity. If you jump out a building, regardless of who you are, you're meeting the ground. And it's the same way that you have to understand that everything that happens, it is not personal. You cannot take things personally, especially with these outside events that have nothing to do with who you are, because it's only your perception and your beliefs about yourself that change the way that you view events. Because shifting your beliefs about yourself isn't just like this basic thing, like, you know, saying affirmations in the mirror over and over again. That shit doesn't work, okay? That shit does not work. What it is about is aligning your frequency and your vibrational energy towards the type of vibrations you want to have and the sort of feelings you want to have. Because let's be honest, as humans, we are emotional creatures. That's what drives most of our actions. Emotions, feeling. We want to feel this way, we want to feel that way. You have to understand, in order to feel these good feelings that you want to feel in the future, you have to be able to produce them now, before you have the results, before you have the tangibles. And in order to do this, you're going to have to take action. Action is one of the most important steps. Well, it's the most important step when it comes to getting the things you want and living the reality you want to live. You have to do things. I'm someone that used to have this, I think it's paralysis analysis, which is basically you go through all the pros and cons of every little action you do and you nitpick everything, try and find the like pros and cons of everything, and it just makes you not want to do anything. And the truth is, you're not going to learn anything from just sitting in your room and writing a spreadsheet of all the pros and cons of doing something. You have to act. Because all these pros and cons that you're writing up, this is all theoretical. You don't know which ones apply to your actual situation. And a lot of this is due to our need for perfection. A lot of us are failed perfectionists. We chase perfection despite never acting enough to even reach perfection. As the saying says, you should be afraid of the man that practices one kick 1,000 times and not the man that practices 1,000 kicks one time. Which basically means repetition is how you get better at things. Doing things over and over again. And when you start this process, you're going to be bad at it. That's the truth. Regardless of what it is, you're going to be bad at it. And you have to let go of this need to be good at everything you do. You have to. That's the only way you can make progress. Humble yourself enough to be like, okay, if this is something I want to do, and I know it's going to benefit me in the long term, who cares if I'm bad at it right now? This is an investment for my future. Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You cannot get anything out of your life if you're too scared to take that first step. Because the truth is, once you take that first step, you realize, oh, okay, that was the easy part. Because the hard part is being consistent, consistently stepping into the unknown. Because your brain will try and convince you that you can analyze things and make the perfect decision based on your analysis alone. Your brain is lying to you. In order to gain information, you must act. There's only so many books you can read. I've read a lot of books and I would not be able to, have any evidence that they've actually worked or they're useful unless I acted on the information that I took in. That's why I think people that watch videos, that watch self-improvement videos and watch like psychology videos and watch like spirituality videos, but just sit at home all day and don't do anything with it, you're wasting your fucking time. You might as well just be fucking good enough or something. The accumulation of knowledge without the courage to act on it, it's just masturbation. It really is. It's just you like giving yourself a little ego boost. Okay, great, I know all this information. Use it. Yeah, sorry if I just started going off there. But you know what I mean, okay? You know what I mean. Proverbs 13 verse 20 says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. You cannot outwork being in a toxic environment. You cannot out-manifest being around people whose energy and frequencies are extremely low. You can't. You might think that, well, it's okay that all my friends, are losers and don't do anything with their life because I'm going to be the exception. I'm going to be the one that shows them how it's done. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself, and you know you are. You have to have the courage to be like, okay, you know what, guys? I love you guys. Like, you're my boys, I have love for you, but I can't be around you guys anymore. I got to separate myself. I got to do my own thing. I got to focus on who I want to be. Because a lot of us will literally sacrifice our future, sacrifice our dream reality for the comfort of having friends today. Friends that, let's be honest, don't bring anything major or productive into your life other than just companionship and a couple laughs and a bit of a joke. Like, is that really worth basically giving up on your dreams and giving up on your aspirations because you're afraid of a bit of, time to yourself? You're afraid of having this period where maybe you don't, hang around people for a while. That's something you really have to ask yourself. Is it worth me hanging around these people just because I don't want to be alone? When I know that they're not on the same journey as me, they're not on the same path as me, they don't care about the same things I'm passionate about. Because the truth is, you have become so comfortable being around these low vibrational people. Mainly because it allows you to feel better about yourself. Because I'll be honest, being around low vibrational people and people that are just working on very low frequencies and just aren't really interested in expanding their mind and learning about stuff, it's comfortable being around them because they don't challenge you. They don't challenge you in any way. You know what they're going to say. You know they're going to start talking about girls. You know they're going to start talking about football. You know they're going to start talking about the latest gossip drama. That's all comfortable. You don't want to be around people that are going to challenge you, make you feel uncomfortable, that are going to make you feel like, maybe I don't know as much as I thought I did. You're afraid of that feeling. Because from experience, being around people that are, that are basically living this sort of life that I want to have, the sort of reality that I aspired to live, when I was around them, I would feel uncomfortable. I'd be like, shit, I'm the dumbest person here right now. All these guys are way more successful than me, they know more than me. And I used to feel insecure about that, but I realized that was the old version of me trying to drag myself back into comfort. So I said, fuck that. I'm gonna stay here. I belong here. The philosopher Epictetus, Epictetus, that's a crazy name, but he said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Which basically means, you niggas gotta be more grateful for the shit you got. For real, honestly, that has helped so much in just really improving my situation and just understanding that we take so much shit for granted on a daily basis. And the person who lacks gratitude, that is the most unhappy person in the room, regardless of their situation. A grateful person is always going to attract good things into their life. Who wants to be around someone who's ungrateful, who's never happy, who's never pleased with, you know, what they have? And not to say that you're doing this for other people's approval, but when you attract people that have, you know, good energy about them, a good frequency and a good vibration, these are the kind of people that are going to push you further. They're going to push you to really like double check yourself, be like, am I really who I think I am? Because gratitude is one of the highest vibrational frequencies. It helps you operate at a level that most people just have never tapped into. Simply because most people have been indoctrinated by this consumerist ideology that, you know, you can never have enough, you always need something else, that happiness is behind the next purchase. And once you can see past this and understand that this is all nonsense to basically make you a slave, you understand that you don't have to think like that anymore. You don't have to. It was a choice. So lastly, you have to understand that creating your ideal reality is going to be a journey. It's not like you can suddenly just start doing the things I've said here and the next day, bang, you just, you know, you got everything you wanted. It's a journey, and it's a journey that's not linear either. There's still going to be days where, even though you know the right thing to do and you know what you should be doing and what you should be saying, that you're still going to mess up. Simply because you are a human. This is the curse of being a human. We mess up. Even when we know better, we still mess up. You know, when you're going through these tough times, because you will go through tough times, there will be times where you're suffering. To understand that you're suffering for a reason. There's a method to the madness. Romans 5 verse 3-4 says, not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. It's important to trust that every delay that you experience is preparing you for something greater. Every trial and tribulation that you go through is basically like sharpening you and sharpening your abilities and sharpening your understanding of your situation. Because I'm someone that believes that it is your duty as a human to make sense and make a reason for the suffering that we will go through. In other words, it's your right as a human to turn your pain into purpose. And that is my catchphrase. In case you don't know, I'm going to be saying that a lot. But yeah, turning your pain into purpose is something every person must do. You have no choice. It's either you let your pain define you, or you let it become the drive and the purpose behind what you do. So now that you know that you have the power to design your ideal life and it is in your hands, and you have been choosing to not live the type of life you want, it's now up to you to decide to make better choices and decide that your life is worth living, and to decide that you are going to turn your pain into purpose. I said it again, I'm telling you, okay? I'm telling you, I'm going to say it again. Make sure that you're taking notes of anything I've said, and do leave your favorite quote from this video in the comments so we can share the knowledge, make it more accessible for each other. Let's do each other a favor, you know? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's not even what I was trying to say, but let me stop there. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you lending me your time, lending me your ear. And I'm going to end it again with my cheesy catchphrase. Make sure you keep turning your pain into purpose, dog. I believe in you. You got this. Let's go.